The carry is isolated away.
At this point, they should probably do what SG Dragons Omega did in the previous game, which is to just fight 4v5 with Bren Esports as much as possible, while Carry is not joining. However, Revo seems to be taking a bit of a different direction. He's charting territory downwards, and he probably could join the team fight if they need him to.
Oh, I just noticed that it's Coco actually playing a support Cho in this game, as both Rebo and Pain are not on that role right now. So Bren Esports, they have this, I believe, an identity crisis as the meta game has been shifting away.
Oh, there you go.
Ball pro. That was 3-point shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
From Dale.
Laser to the face while he was stunned down by Gibbs
Another one. Yuji gets caught off guard there. And looks like Bren Esports just falling apart at this point in the game. Hayes dropping really low.
Oh my god.
Carl will go for the chase. They're not giving up. The arrow almost a little bit of a scare. But SGD Omega, they have full reign over this level 2 Lord. Level 2 Turtle.
Yeah, level 2 Turtle at this point, keeping Bren Esports out of the objective game and keeping everyone low is not an easy feat, but somehow SG Dragons Omega are making it work. 2 to 3 on the kill score, 400 gold, so still pretty even on the resource, but map control is completely different story.
I think SGD Omega is thinking what I am thinking right now, that they are going to be 4-0 head-to-head with Bren Esports if they manage to get this win.
I remember that.
Yeah, so
last season.
It's not the Selena that's the kryptonite, it is SGD Omega that is the kryptonite of Bren Esports. So looks like Bren Esports, they need to have that in their minds right now.
Yeah.
They need to stay focused if they don't want that happening.
Yeah, the hunger must be there to make your mark onto the professional scene, giving
he's paying for his life there on the hands of Yuji, but looks like SGD Omega will be quick to respond there, just going to tuck them away into the turret.
I saw a comment, someone said he's winning because of the blue wig. Maybe, right? Who knows, right?
I mean, yeah, blue wig is currently very OP.
Wig, yeah.
Currently 100% win rate wearing a blue wig.
Currently. We'll have to see if that's gonna drop to 50. For the meantime, of course, Bren Esports are slowly taking control of the map. However, there's no big objectives to take, and SG Dragons Omega taking their sweet time.
Yeah, Bren Esports has been actually pulling ahead in terms of the pushing race here. They are currently 21k against SGD's 19k in terms of net worth, and that is thanks to the 3 towers that they all have already been taken down. SGD Omega, though, they have only taken down 1 tower at the 8-minute mark.
Yeah, they really opened up the map. So Bren Esports are starting to, show dominance. Although the team fights are, as I did say before, a bit shaky, they really are very decided into getting kills whenever possible.
Alright, so let's see if this is the Bren Esports that we have been waiting for a very long time. Will they be showing the dominance that they are really known for? And it looks like Heath is being kept on the top by Coco there. And it looks like the folks will be on his middle lane though. The ball has been launched, not hitting anyone there. There goes for the wild charge, not gonna hit anyone there. But looks like Bren Esports will be going for the full retreat. Pain is in the low HP range there.
Okay.
Is going to fall down and hands of Hayes. It looks like things has been turning up here in the 4v4 situation.
Really turning around here for Bren Esports. Somehow they're luring SG Dragons Omega into a very tight corridor, which they can't actually take. And now Lex is going to be caught in Zone Force. Turn around
to Yuji, but only 1 HP left. Not really finishing him off. So that is a Harriet there. And speaking of Harriet, we haven't seen a very effective Zaman Force so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the best places to do it, but there's just no targets, no follow-up. Again, they're using it more for DPS rather than crowd control, which is, I think, a big problem because Hayes having a hard time positioning on the Minotaur for the big charge up.
But here it comes. I think we're gearing up for another team fight coming up in the next few moments as Bren Esports shifts their attention to the Lord pit here. SGD Omega, they are sensing this. They are sensing this is actually happening right now. There will be an arrow soon enough to be shot in this general direction.
For sure.
While Bren Esports, though, here comes the bait. But looks like Lex will be paying with his life. That's Selena. They really hate that Selena. So, but SGD Omega, they are still going to fight as four here, as they are still poised to just threaten this takedown of the Lord.
Yeah, they literally just sent Coco to hunt down that Selena, and despite having some members to back him up, SG Dragon still lost Selena at that point where Lex thought probably the 5-man was going for the Lord.
Yeah.
That was a great bait from Bren.
Yeah, so Bren Esports not really committing a takedown to the level 1 Lord yet. And looks like Bren Esports, they are gearing for another pick-off here as they are trying to find more stray heroes on the side of STD Omega, and they find Heat, but he's up against a wall, so not much CC's happening there. Arrow misses, and looks like STD Omega has a good idea on what's going on in the Fog of War.
Yeah, somehow Heath is not really doing that well on the Grok, having a hard time keeping everyone alive. A huge difference to most Grok players that we see, however.
Here comes Bren Esports trying to pick up that Grok there, but Coco has been paying for his life. 1 HP left, one more hit, and the arrow hits onto Coco, and Bren Esports are on the run. SGD Omega, they are trying to capitalize the current situation there. No balls have been launched, and here comes the arrow hit, not hitting anyone there, but Bren Esports on full retreat mode.
Yep, so despite having a 4,000 goal lead here, Bren Esports gonna be pushed back by SG Dragons Omega. Bren Esports, they have the tools. They're just having a hard time getting into position to use them.
Yeah, so HDD Omega, their lineup is actually not fit for pushing there. Catches two, but not really enough. But Dale will be paying for his life. Almost gets that double kill. That was a lot of risk reward going on in there.
And Dale, if he had a backup there, another layer of stun, that would have been a completely different story. The burst was real.
Oh, Pain dropping really low there. Here comes the 4 of SC Dragons. They're trying to just defend this Lord against Bren. Looks like Lord is the ally of SCD Omega.
Yeah, don't forget, Levi is also pushing on the bottom side. So that's something that Bren has to keep in mind if ever they decide to go for a big fight, which now they're second guessing their decisions around the map.
Yeah, so HDD Omega is now slowly closing the net worth gap, the difference in gold here, as Levi has managed to push down the bottom lane here. There's still one level 1 turret standing on the side of Bren Esports. If SCD Omega manages to push that off, it will be another even state for both of these teams.
Absolutely, and even is not where you want to be here if you are Bren Esports against SG Dragons Omega. A lot of new blood and a lot of mechanically gifted players in this team.
Yeah, and that is true, and mechanically gifted is not what getting hit by an arrow is. But, but good point. But Bren Esports, they are trying to stay on top of the game here in game number 2. They are looking for a reverse sweep in the series, as they are one loss away from losing to STD Omega. But looks like Bren Esports, they have the late game going for them, as they have the carry on their side. And STD Omega, they are playing against a ticking time bomb.
Yep, and ticking time bomb will pop once we get those towers down, which is not happening anytime soon. At the same time, Bren Esports very hesitant to go for the Lord take. You can already feel the respect coming from the red side squad here.
Yeah, there is respect indeed, as balls and arrows fly to your general direction. This has just been messing around with Bren Esports signature, what do you call it? A pristine positioning there.
The rotation.
Yep. So the ball hits onto Hayes. So this is literally throwing a wrench into the gears of a well-oiled machine of Bren Esports. So Destiny Omega has been playing that card really well. And Carlsey catches up onto Pain. He's in the middle of the pack, but it's not next to the wall. Oh no, Zaman force onto him. But he managed to get that escape. Phantom Steed has been called upon. And here comes Pain trying to finish off the messy start there. But looks like Lex's Turna is the first one to fall. Selena, the only casualty so far.
Man, that was a bit messy. So many abyssal arrows missing and so many balls.
Oh no! Looks like Carl will get a double kill soon enough. But looks like like he will be going for the chase here. Dale will be falling to the hands of Coco, but Carl is not yet done with Pain here. But Carl you're taking too long in this team fight. It looks like Pain has been finally fallen down, but Carl will be paying for his life for that overcommitment.
Yeah, I feel like everyone is ignoring Coco just because he has season show with immortality.
Yeah.
Then because of that, SG Dragons are suffering so many losses around the map. Now the block is not going to be enough to protect the mid lane turret here for SG Dragons.
Okay, so it looks like we'll be approaching game number 3 here. Only 2 heroes are alive to defend this main structure for SCD Omega, but Bren Esports is just playing with their food at this point.
Yeah.
But it's just ensuring their win. Dale has her final respawn. And it looks like Bren Esports will be just gearing down for a moment.
Yeah, the sacrifice is real there for Grok, baiting everyone out just so that his teammates can respond in time. So because of that, Bren Esports will be going over to the Lord area. They'll be securing a huge bunch of gold plus the pushing potential.
This should be the first Lord if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I think so. This is the Lord. They've been dancing around the Lord for so many times this game already. So that's the first Lord, ladies and gents, if you're trying to keep track.
Okay, so currently Bren Esports has a high chance of winning. They have the carry on their side. They have an 8k gold lead in SCD Omega. They don't really have much late game options here. They have the early game advantage they had with a Gord, with a Selena, and a Grok has ran out, and they only have the Thomas and the Leomord, not really well known for late game, as their only options of sticking around.
So that's a good Guardian barrier there used by Heat. Can SGD pull off the defense?
Shaman Force has been laid down, and Heat will be the first to fall there. Rebo will be cleaning the floor with SGD Omega's Bren Esports. They are going to take this to game number 3, but no, SGD Omega, they are still in this game. 4 is still alive, and they want to defend this at the very last moment. And Bren Esports, they are not holding back here, but also they will be going for a retreat for now, so they change their focus to the bottom lane.
This is a lot of hesitation for Bren Esports. At the same time, maybe they just want to take it slow. Gord will be the target.
The first one to pull the trigger loses in that situation as he starts that laser, and he was open to a dive there as demonstrated by that Harith. And here comes the game number 2 going to Bren Esports. It looks like game number 3 coming next.
Ladies and gents, we are tied up here. Bren Esports definitely making the mid-game power spike of their composition work.
Yeah, and mid-game indeed. So Bren Esports, that carry pick as the 4th really paid off really well. If it was a different hero, if it wasn't a marksman, it would have turned out differently for Bren.
Yeah, if they did what we were seeing the first game, that would have been a completely different story. Obviously, the Gord pick had a lot of shining moments, but no one really stayed in the laser for long enough to be dead or to just even be damaged for a substantial amount. So maybe the crowd control is a bit slim for SG Dragons. Maybe that's one of the reasons why they did lost that fight.
It was really slim indeed, as they kind of lacked in that department. Like they picked the Selena, the Gord, and the Grok, so but not enough to actually pin down someone for the Gord to finish him off. I think the Gord has been a pretty effective substitute to the Harley so far.
So let's go into the replays of that one. Big highlights from SG Dragons in the early game where they were showing a very promising start. But of course, after this chain of events, after the Gord ultimates were read out, I feel like they had a much better time here for Bren Esports.
Yeah, much better time indeed, but that was a very early game oriented lineup for SCD Omega. So once it hit like the 10-minute mark, it was like pretty much over for SCD Omega. Bren Esports drafted really smart by picking up the carry as their 4th.
Super lights out, especially if the ball from Gord doesn't hit, if the abyssal arrows from Selena don't hit. No one was gonna die there.
Yeah, that was pretty much the green light for Bren Esports. Once the ball and the arrow pass through and nobody gets hit, and that was pretty much the signal for Bren to go in and punish SGD Omega.
And again, one of the shining lights for Bren Esports, Coco, the show here so good at taking down targets and playing around the map. Just goes to show he's not just a Claude and Leomord player. Guy has a lot of stuff in his pockets.
Yeah, and that's a pretty deep pocket. And game number 3, it will be a really interesting one for
Yep.
sure.
Not the fast games we were expecting in the beginning.
But a
of
perfect
this
last
match.
series of the night.
It really is. I mean, how close can you get against two teams who have been battling it out since the previous season, where we were really rooting for Bren Esports a lot. A lot of people were rooting for Bren Esports, but SG Dragons gave him a 2-0 out of nowhere. So are we going to see that? Obviously not a 2-0, but possible close to 1.
Yeah, again, Bren Esports. Specifically, just stick to a Guinevere draft around it, and they also managed to just solve the Selena problem.
Finally.
So that's something that is going to the advantage of Bren Esports now. STD Omega, they need to go back to the drawing board here of how they will be approaching Bren Esports now.
Yeah, no more Selena bans. Ban slot wasted on a Selena. They definitely show that they're capable, very much capable of dodging those abyssal arrows. No more alt tab stuns where if you get stunned, you're just gonna go to Facebook and just check out your status. Apparently, once they do that, SG Dragons have lost the win conditions for that game. Can they draft around that though? Can they come up with something to, counteract whatever they practice? If they were banking on Selena, it's not gonna happen this time.
Yeah, I think it will be all boiling down on who gets the first pick here. If it's a first pick going towards STD Omega, they won't be panning out the Cho. They'll be grabbing that Cho away from Hayes or away from Coco even.
Yeah, from Coco.
So
Honestly.
Heat played an awesome Cho game in the first game, and I think they will be reverting to that.
Yep. So, is that gonna happen? We're gonna have to find out as we go into Game 3. Don't forget, guys, share the stream. Send it to the group chats. Let them know we got a very, very fiery and intense match happening between Bren Esports and SG Dragons Omega. Personally, I kind of wish they stopped picking Guinevere though, because even though they did win in that previous game, I feel like that hero is just all over the place.
Yeah, it was not convincing, but you cannot really blame the choice for Guinevere, as both Lancelot and Gushan aren't really good choices right now.
Yeah, and
So I think that the Guinevere kind of fills that void pretty well for the strategy that Bren wants. And it looks like the first pick will be going to Bren here.
So, it's gonna be Game 3 draft, Bren Esports versus SG Dragons Omega. Looking really, really hot here for Bren Esports. At the same time, SG Dragons, can they play without momentum? I feel like that's something that you have to watch out for, because that's something that I've noticed in the previous season. They play so well into momentum.
Yeah.
Have they changed? Have they improved for the better? Something I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, let's see. So, nobody has been really banning out the Grok so far, or even Akaya. Let's see if both marksmen already banned out.
Yeah, no. So, obviously, carry is going to be the next priority, but not really.
Yeah, it's not something that you want to first ban, but it's not also someone that you want to first pick even.
Yep. Oh, so no more Grok plays. I feel like Heath did not play a good Grok in that game.
Yeah, he didn't.
Did not give us the perfect stunts that enables Gord to shine with the ult. So something to. I don't blame
team
Bren
is
Esports. At the
picking.
same time, didn't really need to ban.
Alright,
it,
so
in my
the
opinion.
supports will be boiling down to the choices between Balearic, Cho, Akai, Minotaur, and looks like what the hell?
Let's go, lock it in. I want to
Okay,
see
okay.
games like that.
Oh. What?
Changa is
Okay, Harith.
pretty legit.
This should be Harith.
Harith is going to be the most legit
Yeah.
pick here. At the same time, I feel like
I thought we were going to see a Farsa, but
yeah, Farsa would be great, but Bren Esports, they are not afraid to show out picks like that. They're
Yeah.
very, what do you call that? They're very
pocket
Your
picks.
team
pocket pick
is
oriented.
picking.
They put up a lot. They put up Estes. They put up. Did they put up the? No, that wasn't.
That
them.
was their opponent, I believe.
They put up Diggy. They were the first ones to use it in the previous season as well. So they're very comfortable with that. Of course, speaking of comfort,
Your team is
no
Keep
comfort
on the
picks.
show.
Yeah, no comfort picks for Bren Esports in terms of Hayes or Coco. Coco, I was surprised. I didn't know he played that well of a show.
I mean, generally Coco is on the fighter role.
yeah,
so
he is. So
you-
technically, he is a fighter.
You know him when it comes to the Thamas, to the Leomord, so I think finally we're going to see a Coco Leomord this time.
Let's
or
go.
maybe a Helker.
This is what we want
So,
to see.
This is actually a lot of choices for Bren Esports. They're going for
Your
the
team
melee
is picking.
man-to-man lineup here.
All right, so this is good. I mean, this is still a lot of damage output from Bren Esports, and you saw the moment that they put damage on the table, everyone. sorry.
Okay.
I have to warn when that happens. Sometimes it shines. It really stands out. Anyway,
Your team is banning.
the Akai gonna be the one to be locked in here by SG Dragons. You have a very solid front line already.
Your
The ban will be
team
on the
is banning.
Famous, so Levi gonna be warranting a solid ban from that one.
Okay, so I think SG Dragons, what they want to happen here is they want to ban a support that they will not be picking here. So they will be banning something else. Maybe the Minotaur gets banned out, and they'll be picking
Your
the Balearic,
team
I
is
believe,
picking.
or should be a Balearic.
Yeah, it should be a Balearic just to make sure that SG Dragons will have enough
Your
survivability
team is
to
picking.
actually pull off this Lunox. Because we saw Lunox is
Oh,
pretty strong. Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me.
Your team
Again?
is picking.
They're really pushing this. I mean, these guys are awesome, man. Bren Esports. I kind of don't. I know you have opinions about this Kufra pick as well.
yeah. So the Kofra, the only thing that I hate about this hero is how it takes time for him to wind up and actually use his skills. So I believe Lex sees through this, and he is, I think, happy inside to see this pick up from Bren Esports happening. But the thing here that I hate about the Kofra is how it takes time
Yep.
for it to wind up, to actually make things happen, when compared to Lolita, where you can just actually flicker forward
Yeah.
while winding up your ultimate. So
That's a neat trick, isn't it?
yeah, so that is something that is missing from a Kofra.
At the same time, personally, I tried it. It's very difficult to really pull off because you need to estimate the direction where your ultimate is going to charge.
Yeah.
You need to turn the arrow around, and then you need to predict where they're going to start moving, when they're going to start moving against a wall. So let's head into game 3, and of course, let us know your predictions for this game. Is it a hashtag Bren win or hashtag SGDO win? Let us know on the chat. Share the stream. And a big thank you to our sponsors, of course, Realme Smart. This is all live on FB Gaming, Gamely. And of course, big shout out to Moontu.
Yeah, so this will be the last game for tonight. So I didn't really catch the last pick there. Was it a marksman, or I didn't really catch the last pick? But
We have a carry on.
okay. So I think the team that has a carry will be the one walking away with the win here.
Yeah, so that's going to be SG Dragons, apparently. We're going to have to wait and see if Mr. Zendex's prediction is going to come true. We're going into Game 3, Bren Esports versus SG Dragons Omega.
Okay, so Coco will be the one controlling the Hellcurt here, while Rebo will be the one using the Leomord. So this is a fighter-oriented lineup from Bren Esports, so there will be a lot of action on the side lanes for this team.
Yep, and right now I feel like SG Dragons have a very strong late game. At the Same time, I worry for the early game, which is what's happening right now. Deadly Poison Stickers make their mark. Coco take first blood.
Yeah, that is one that shows. So it is pretty notable that it's not Heat on that show. So it is actually a core Cho playing in this game. So Lex and Heat on the support roles. Here comes Lex with a dive in, but no follow-ups there. Pain is still on that Guinevere.
Wow, Pain is really aggressive there whenever he goes onto the Guinevere. So 3 games in a row. I love the dedication here.
Is mastery counted in custom games? But, so I think he's trying to grind up on that mastery level on Guinevere.
That's a lot. That's a lot of games on the Guinevere. Not surprised. At the same time, he streams that a lot. So at the same time, I was surprised to see it in pro play. You know what? It's working out well so far. It has a 50% win rate for Pain. Can he get it up to 66%? That's a big question.
I think this Guinevere is actually going to be more of a support-oriented type instead of the core we saw in the previous 2 games.
Yeah.
So we're now finally seeing Pain back on that support role alongside Yellow Haze on that Kofra. Let's see if their duo will be working out this time on this super hard to pull off combo.
That's true. It really is. They're banking on the full combo by Haze as well as Pain. And then there may be some Zaman Force here and there. Now, Dark Knight Falls will be used by Bren Esports, trying to get a glimpse or trying to stop people from getting a glimpse of the
now
map.
that you mention it, I think the missing recipe so far in this Kofra Guinevere combo has been the Dark Knight Falls on the Hellcurt. I think this kind of gives the two to have enough room to set up the combo.
Yeah, confuse the enemy,
Yeah.
as they say. Try to get them, to crumple up together. Because usually when you see Dark Knight Falls casted by enemy, you're gonna want to stick together.
Yeah.
You want to be able to back up.
Yeah, and I think the Balearic is also a nice, good pickup. Each time the Dark Knight Falls has been casted, because each time you have been bunched up together, that the Balearic ultimate plays a huge role there. And Eugene's been falling down.
What a huge
And here
explosive
comes
fight!
the follow-up on the side of Bren Esports. So Rebo gets a kill, but Lex gets a double kill though from the other side. Rebo is on the run on that horse as Hayes is on the run. 3-4-1 trade in favor of SGD Omega. Not a team fight that you want to happen.
That was really weird. At the same time, Coco was on the bottom side of the map, so he was not able to participate. So that is gonna be a...
Did Coco not cast Dark Knight Falls?
I think he missed it. Yeah. He did. Yeah, it's up. Its
Yeah.
cooldown is up. So that was a very explosive fight from SG Dragons.
But that was a blunder
Yeah.
from Bren Esports. I think he has not been paying attention, but I think he was busy also
Taking the tower.
taking tower and dealing with he was just taking the tower there as Levi was in that team fight.
Yeah, maybe reserving it for the run home in case he gets hunted down if someone was in that bush. Of course, it was difficult to actually count the amount of SG Dragon members because everyone was hiding in bushes.
Alright, so Dark Knight Falls finally gets triggered though for the defense of this middle turret here. Heath and Carl is trying to take down Coco here under the turret range, and they do so. Carl gets that kill.
Kain tayo.
That's a lot of damage, of course, being absorbed by SG Dragons on the top side. Bottom side, they're trying to answer with a push of their own, but Bren Esports making sure that the macro game this time around.
Carl, will he be the one falling down here? But he hides well enough. Power of Order has been casted on time there, but looks like Bren Esports is not relenting though. Looks like they will not be conceding this contestation in the middle lane.
Yeah, which is a bit odd considering SG Dragons, they have a strong lane. They have a strong team fight presence now that they have their ultimates up.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit confused why they're so hesitant to take team fights. Now I feel like
here comes Hayes going for the dive in. Will be dying immediately if he doesn't really leave here. Bouncing ball away from that. So Lex will be just shooing him away.
Wow.
Are you immune to CC when you're in ball form?
No, you're not. Actually, I found that out the hard way.
Okay.
Although there is a 90% reduction, 95% reduction. It plays around that number.
Oh, okay.
So from in damage, but that was a lot of difficult decisions being done by SG Dragons. I think they're fighting with their confidence. Do we actually go for a fight? are they starting to be shaken here by Bren?
Okay, so Bren Esports, all of their ultimates are available. So if they want to contest this turtle, they can do that very easily. But Haze and Pain are both falling down beyond half HP. The Levi goes for the retreat. Here comes the response from Bren Esports. But STD looks like they will be picking off Coco first from the lineup. And Pain has been isolated so far there. And Pain has been reverted back there. But Yuji with a response, picking off that Balearic, and this has been a pretty advantageous team fight over the side of Bren Esports, and that is the team fight that they want, and they will be converting this quickly into a turret takedown.
That was 4v5. The Cho was on the bottom side that whole fight. And that was such a weird fight for SG Dragons to take. Were they forced to, though?
Yeah,
I think that was the question.
Yeah, I think they were forced by Haze there. It looks like this is the Kofra coming finally into play. And please clear my doubts on this hero pick.
Yeah, I know. It is so weird. At the same time, they're really trying. You can tell that Haze and Pain, they have this wombo combo in mind. They're just having a hard time getting 3 or 2 SG Dragon members in one knockup.
Yeah, because STD Omega, they are always minding the gap when it comes to Yuji's Zaman Force, of course. So that is already a scattered lineup for STD Omega each time Bren wants to take them on. So they need to come out from all the sides here if they want to. So this is a nice concave already coming up from Bren Esports, as STD Omega has been stuck at the top lane here.
Yeah, the top lane is a bit of a weak spot here as well for SG Dragons. Bren Esports definitely know where to
goes
push.
For the dive, Lex goes for the Hurricane Dance onto Haze. There goes the silence. Zaman Force gets laid out by Yuji, but there comes the Dark Knight Falls as well. I think this is a combo that Bren Esports wants to pull off, but no, Carl has denied all of that. Hellcurt falls.
Yeah, Coco got killed by Flower of Life there. So many hits chasing off onto that Hellcurt.
I didn't notice the flower. The flower was the finishing move for Coco.
I mean, a lot of the damage was finished off by the Luna.
But here comes the karma from Bren Esports finishing off Heath there, but not enough damage. So far, Go is hiding in the bush, but finally kills him off. Heath to fall, but Haze will be paying with his life as Yuji is trying to desperately escape. Pain goes for the escape, but Lex doesn't have a jump available. It looks like they will be settling for the turtle for now.
So that's a small window of opportunity that SG Dragons Omega can actually take here. Of course, it will despawn, becomes the Lord all of a sudden, so that was a wasted opportunity for the red side.
That was pretty...
Yeah.
Such a shame
That was sad. Right? The small moment where you had low HP members from Bren Esports back in the base, and then it despawns in your face. Oh my god.
Your turtle turns into a lord, can't explain that, but anyway, SGD Omega, they tried to pin down onto Pain, and that was one successful pickoff on that Guinevere. SGD Omega just capitalizing on punishing this Kufra Guinevere combo that Bren Esports so far not yet working out.
Yeah, it really is not, and at the same time, is it because SG Dragons plays a lot better with this composition? The Lunox Belleric pick is just really, really difficult to fight against, apparently.
Yeah, so when you're seeing the lineup of SGD Omega, they have a lot of escape mechanisms here. So Lex, of course, Kai has the 1,000-pounder Heath with being tanky. I mean, that's just his job, to be tanky.
That's
Dale
right.
with the dashes, Carl as well with the power of order, and Levi with a Shunpo and a Jeet Kundo, of course.
Absolutely, and of course, you can already tell that, Bren Esports still not pulling off the combo that they want.
I mean, I'm still a hater of the cover
You
pick
are.
here.
You really are, my friend.
if your only escape mechanism needs to wind up, that's not an escape mechanism at all.
Yeah, I'm actually reading the comments. A lot of them agree. Like, the Kufra and Guinevere is a strong combo, but super unreliable.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to pull off, and there's so many windows that you can dodge from it.
Yeah, and also you're opening yourself up to your opponent if you're trying this combo time and time again. So this is an attempt again. Zaman Force gets laid down, but Hurricane Dance defensively away from that Zaman Force zone.
Now, as we were talking about, the combo is good, but it opens you up to so many mistakes. The moment you make a mistake, everyone just scrambles for safety.
Yeah, and the flash kick, the flash initiation capability of SCD Omega here is just too much. Like Lex can just immediately jump in out of any time, as well as Cho. And here comes the initiation there. Yuji gets that kill though on the Balearic. This will be a huge blow to the lineup of SCD Omega. But on the run currently though, Bren is trying to regroup. Lex has been isolated into that safety of a turret, but I don't think that will be enough. Hurricane Dance on to 4, but it won't be enough as Bren Esports gets kill after kill. Carl though is on the backside there. The last hero alive, but Harris finishes him off. Yuji with a double kill, and this is the disaster for SD Omega. Bren Esports capitalizing on that mistake for SD Omega, and only Dale is left standing here alive, and it just like that, Bren has the advantage.
Yeah, and you saw the moment that they got Heath down, the moment he died, there was no more team fight for Bren, for SG Dragons.
I mean, this is how crucial a Balearic is. Pretty much all of your health is on that Balearic.
Yeah, exactly. So because of that, Bren Esports gonna be taking the first Lord of the game, and Coco's very strong on this Hellcurt already. You can feel the attack speed. And the attack speed means non-stop charges on that deadly poison stinger.
Yeah, DPS indeed. Coco is late game ready at this point. Rebo as well, 4-0 and 4 on that Leomord. If anything that I'm very familiar with Leomords is a Leomord with that standing is pretty much a done deal.
It really is. They even have the Athena as the pseudo damage output there. So SG Dragons definitely on the back foot for this one.
Yeah, on the back foot indeed. They are also lagging in terms of experience. 3 level 13s on the side of Bren Esports, while SCD Omega they only have 1. Carry, Dale Lillis only hitting level 14. At least he's leading the experience department.
Yep. Now it's gonna be Bren Esports going for the charge here. So bottom lane, it should be an easy defense for SG Dragons, but can they do that with top and mid lane at the same time?
Yeah, the thing here with SG Omega, they don't really have much options when it comes to counter initiation. Sure, they can use the Hurricane Dance defensively, but that is one less CC options for their team. Actually, that's their only CC option in SG Omega. So that is something that is Bren Esports has been playing to their advantage. They are trying to bait out the Hurricane Dance, and once that is already used up, they all go in with a pretty vulnerable lineup of SGD.
So despite being 10-10 on the kill score, SG Dragons can be initiated on here by Bren Esports.
So Hurricane Dance has already been used up, all 4 ultimates. Only Levi has the Way of the Dragon available for him, and looks like Bren Esports knows this, and looks like they are gearing up. They're just going to clear the waves again as well the neutral areas, and they will be going for attempt number 2 on finishing the series.
Yep, one small mistake could mean the end here for SG Dragons. Bottom lane, we got Coco pushing up the minions. Top lane, pressure from 3 members of Bren. It's gonna be difficult to decide where you want to defend first.
Okay, so Dark Knight Falls goes in. Here comes Coco. End up with only, but he gets focused down quickly by Dale. I think that's a mistake, a crucial mistake by Bren Esports. And they have overextended them. SGD Omega getting that breathing room that they have been looking for.
Yeah, a huge dive in there by Bren Esports. Overcommits under inside the base of SG Dragons.
Yeah, becoming overconfident. I mean, if you cast your ultimate, you're not immediately God mode. But I think Bren Esports just being being ahead of themselves there. But that is not game losing yet.
Not yet. We're barely there. At the same time, this is a step in the right direction for SG Dragons Omega. We need to get back into the game here for just how much map control they need to wrestle back from the blue side squad. And now they are pushing up on the mid lane. Dale feeling a lot more confident onto this carry. Lord is going to be a long time coming, so 45 seconds of just dancing around the map, I feel like.
So SGD Omega, they are starting to recognize the lack of CCs on their side of the field. So I think they are starting to realize that, but no, he was about to get caught out of position there, but good thing he kept on running and never looked back. So Bren Esports, they are now scattered all around the map, just clearing the map clean of creeps and monsters.
Yeah, and so easy for them to do that at the same time. Almost all of their heroes have AoE, which is pretty good for controlling wave. At the same time, strong burst potential from a lot of their heroes as well.
So it looks like Bren Esports, they
Lord,
are going to
resurrecting
finish
soon.
this game before the carry ever becomes a factor in a result for this game.
I feel like the carry is, whether or not the carry survives, is going to be the win condition here for SD
Yeah.
Dragons Omega in the next coming fight.
But the lack of CCs here right now for SD Omega has been a liability on just protecting the carry. Here comes the bait. Bren Esports, they are responding to this force of HCD right now. No ultimates being casted from either side yet.
Yeah, there he goes though.
One force, he will be coming out on top here. Random speed Steed as well. Looks like Lex will be first one to fall, but looks like Bren Esports will be sealing the deal right now. But no, Levi says no right there. But Yuji, he has other plans for this team fight, but he's still alive, about to fall down. Yuji, the Harith, he's been the determining factor in that team fight. 2-for-1 trade in favor of Bren Esports. A double kill for that Harith.
Mage Dad Yuji showing up strong when Bren Esports really needed it the most. He comes up with a lot of kills, and the crowd control that you mentioned earlier is really missing for SG Dragons. It showed in that last fight. After the Hurricane Dance, after Wave of the Dragon, who was gonna keep anyone still for Dale to go for the free hit?
Yeah, nobody is, and Yuji has been posting the results here so far. 6-1 and 5 on that Harith. He has been leading the charge here for Bren Esports and STD Omega. They're trying to contest this Lord. Will they be there on time though? The Lord is dropping beyond half-life, and that is one quick combo onto Dale, and that is already unstoppable for Rebo. And your only win condition, the carry, has been picked off from your own initiation. That is all but good news.
Weird decisions here for SG Dragons. I feel like the nerves are starting to catch up here for the red side squad. And now it's going to be 4v5 for the next 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Bren Esports now moving up in mid with Lord walking on bot and Coco on the top.
Yeah, Bren Esports, they have 4 ultimates available here. They can actually just go for the Phantom Steam, Dark Knight Falls, and the Zaman Force. Oh, and also even the ultimate of the Kofra has also been available here, but 5 seconds remaining on that respawn timer for Dale, and I think SD Omega, they are trying to hold on to their life, but here comes the initiation from Pain, but no follow-ups there, committed from the side of Bren Esports, just focusing on that turret there. SD Omega, they want to fire back here, but looks like it will be too late there. 2 sides being abused by Bren Esports.
Yeah, this could be it. Bottom lane is being pushed by the Lord, and top side mid lane will go down soon. So what's going to be the decision here? Bren Esports, will they go for the Lord attack lane, or will they split
the
up?
third falls down, but Coco, will he be paying for his lap there? Silence connects though. Here comes Dark Knight Falls. 2 more ultimates are still available. Zaman Force as well. Phantom Steed gets casted down as well. Bren Esports, they will be going for a retreat though, but looks like Coco, he is going to hammer down the top turret there, but looks like Pain will be zoning away the rest of the SD Omega, and looks like one after one, SD Omega will be retreating for regeneration back at the base. Lex as well. Yakai has no more options remaining, and Godlike already for Yuji. And Bren Esports, they are looking pretty good so far in this team fight. Silence connects once again onto Dale, but looks like Dale, he can clean this off. And Bren Esports doesn't finish this off. Zaman Force gets laid down again for Yuji, but no follow-ups yet. This is one pretty long team fight going on. SDD Omega has been pretty good on the defense side so far. Rebo is already monster kill, and this is a 4v3 situation for SDD Omega. Legendary status already for the Harith, and looks like Bren Esports is going to seal the deal, and this could be it, but all of them is in the red zone, and the base falls down. Bren Esports is happy to finally take that win, and
Pain there. Nice callback to the previous 2-0 that they suffered from Bren
reverse sweep
Dragons.
by
That
Bren
was beautiful.
Esports.
Oh my god, cannot believe that game happened.
You
have to clip that, guys. The callback to season 2.
La Revenge.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a win, 2-1 for Bren Esports against SG Dragons. Oh my god, a very close one.
It was pretty
difficult to call
close
that.
up to the very end.
And that game was a long doozy of a fight where SG Dragons were capitalizing a lot on Bren Esports' lack of good execution in the early game with the Kufra Guinevere combo, still
At the end
not
of the day,
a fan.
yeah, at the end of the day, they didn't really need the combo.
Yeah, they did
to
not
actually
at
just
all.
win.
They just relied a lot on
Or all-
Coco, which is chocolating for today. I don't know why. I feel like he did so much in that game. At the same time, I guess that's the reason. That's just how it works. Because if you look at this, Coco was in the middle of most fights, in most split pushes, as well as Pain with that very beautifully executed first blood.
Yeah, so Bren Esports, they won through just sheer firepower here on the backs of the Leomord, the Hellcurt, and the Harriet. A pretty huge punch, if you ask me. SD Omega just lacked in terms of CC. The ones they have casted the Hurricane Dance and the Wave of the Dragon and the combo of the Cho. That's pretty much it. And you have a very open Lunox and Carry. Nothing to defend them. And that really converted into the loss of HD Omega.
Yeah, and SG Dragon's Omega did not really make the carry win condition work at all, as you said. Just because it was so difficult to position against a team that is so mobile, who can drop Zaman Force on the ground
Yeah.
and then just run you over. In most situations where we saw SG Dragons was fighting, it was an overrun by Yuji under Zaman Force. So that just proves how powerful Harif still is, despite the the nerfs that we've done.
Yeah, so I think the effect of the nerf so far is you don't go online as early as you liked it before.
Yeah.
But once you stacked up that cooldown reduction, once you get all of that CDR items, you can just cast down Zaman Force after Zaman Force, just as Yuji demonstrated on top of the buff that if you have it. And that's
Yeah.
the sheer firepower that Harris can bring onto the table when it comes to the later stages of the game.
Yeah, there were so many times where Dale was actually doing a good job positioning. Look at the position of there.
Yeah,
But the problem was targets were not really going down.
Yep.
Everyone had immortality at this point. Yuji was hunting down individual members for SG Dragons Omega. Even at the later stages of that game, where this was a long fight.
yeah.
Everyone was starting to get whittled down. Immortalities were getting popped. So
Yeah, both teams were playing really well in these last few moments of the game. It was a really awesome spectacle to witness. And your MVP is Rebo, the Leomord 608.
beautiful stats there. 75,000 damage, and a lot of them basically absorbed and taken forward as well. So Rebo 608 on Leomord.
Yeah, well deserved MVP, even though it was Yuji that was pretty flashy.
Yeah, agreed. I feel like Yuji single-handedly carried a lot of the team fights there, for like the lack of that we were
Yeah.
talking about. The lack of the wombo combo was made up by the fact that Yuji was just so good on the Harriet.
Okay, so that is for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So this was a pleasure to bring forth to you guys. So thanks to our legend sponsors, Smart, Epic sponsors, Gamely and Realme. And of course, you witness all that action on the live stream on Facebook Gaming.
And don't forget, guys, follow us on the Mobile Legends Facebook page and let us know what you think about that one. Of course, for the meantime, that's going to be it for week 2, day 1 of the Mobile Legends Bang Bang Professional League Season 3 Philippines regular season. I'm Rockhard.
And I am Zendex.
We'll see you guys tomorrow for more Mobile Legends esports action.